just finished running a workshop on textiles in play and creative therapy, and I called it Weaving a Way Through. And I really wanted to share one of my passions, which is a passion both in my professional and private life, which is about the use of textiles as a therapeutic activity. So I started off by talking through my influences, which range from art therapists to somebody I just met before this workshop who told me a little bit about something she'd been doing. And most importantly, the adults and young people and children who I work with. And I've been using textiles in play and creative therapy for a couple of years with adults, young people and children in different ways. It's very much linked to an area I love in my private life, which is knitting, weaving, creating with fabrics and yarns. And it was almost a kind of accidental process which brought that into the play therapy room, which started with me bringing in little snippets of yarns, which adults who I did play therapy with started to make pictures. So they'd paint with yarn instead of painting with paint, and they used to find it very expressive and therapeutic. More recently, I've brought a small weaving loom called a peg loom into the play therapy room, again with children and adults. The work remains very non-directive, and I've been showing people how that can be part of the toolkit, a new area to add to their toolkit. So we had a very experiential and fun time with everybody trying weaving, knitting, but knitting in a different way, not following patterns and having to do as you're told, but just free-range knitting, a bit like painting, just give it a go, just try. So we had a lot of people around the room weaving and knitting. And I talked a little bit about how that can be an activity with adults and with very young children. And it maybe doesn't spring to mind as a therapeutic activity for children, but I've recently set up with children in a primary school. I just have a table that's covered in yarns and then a loom, and children just do what they wish with that. And some children use it to tell their story, reflecting as they just weave up and down. And other children actually comment on the colours and the threads that they're using and talk to me about what that means for them. It might be family memories. Adults just love weaving to relax, and I have a lot of clients who've been very resistant to counselling, who are very happy to sit and weave, but they talk at the same time. I was also talking a little bit about the use of fabrics as a therapeutic activity, just feeling fabrics, stroking fabrics. We started off with a big web of wool around the room, incorporating different colours. The whole group joined in, and then that set the scene for me to talk about my experiences and then let everyone play for quite a long time. Would have been great if we'd had longer, really, because people just got so engrossed. I also wanted to provide people with something they could take away to look after themselves as therapists. And I find that I do some knitting and or weaving every day, and it really helps me to just feel relaxed at the end of the day. This has been great to be here today to talk to other play therapists from PTUK and trainees. I've delivered this workshop to 2 support groups so far, both in Brighton and in Cheshire. But it feels very special to be here today with an open audience of play therapists. And I think it's great that we have our basic training on the certificate and diploma, and then people are always open to looking at new ideas, new ways of working, new techniques, and that we're really encouraged to develop those, both by coming here to speak at the conference and also to write about these things in Play for Life to reach the wider audience. So it's been great to be here.